3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Here's our boy. In 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Out of Office, Episode 1. I'm one of your co-hosts, Graham, and our other co-host,
Caitlin.
Hello, awesome. And then we're joined today by our first guest ever on the talk show, podcast, I don't know, talk
What
show.
is this?
We
don't know yet.
We'll figure it out. We have Austin Cope in the studio today. Let's give it
Let's
up.
go.
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Feeling loved,
That's what we
Yeah.
want. So some people might not have seen you since like last April, which is kind of crazy to think about. It's been a full year since core year ended. So even last summer, what did you get up to then? You were on one of your co-ops?
Yeah, I did so I did 2 consecutive co-ops at Colliers. I did one in Vancouver like last summer, and then this January I was in Victoria. And then so that was a lot of fun. Learned a lot. Like I really like commercial real estate. I think it'd be a good career choice for me if potentially. And then last summer, I lived downtown in Vancouver in an apartment, and worked, and then drank a lot, of course.
As
like
you do.
the good old days. Since this COVID thing has started, I haven't drank once. Not even
Really?
here. No.
Wow.
I DM'd Austin a few weeks ago. I was like, hey, want to grab a drink? And he's like, no, I'm not a drink. I'm not a drinker anymore.
You slid right into my DMs.
Hey, shoot.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I know I've just been off the sauce. I'm really trying to. I came back, I weighed, I almost fainted when I came back from Europe and saw how much I weighed. I was like, Jesus. Then I had to get in the right mindset and lose some lbs. So that's what I've been doing.
I don't think I stepped on a scale until mid-February. I avoided it for a little while because at least by then I was somewhat back into the routine of going to the gym and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just tough while you're over there to keep in the fitness mode, especially with how much you're traveling in and out of the city. Plus you're doing school at the same time.
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
School.
I think it's one of those things that it's a once in a lifetime thing, and you're supposed to eat and enjoy every minute of it. Like the gym will be there when you get back,
Oh,
Austin,
trust me, that's what I did. I just ate and drank into oblivion, and then I just dealt with the results come January. And I was it was worse than I thought it was going to be, but it's fine now. So, I mean, it was all worth it.
I think my bank account took a bigger hit than the pounds.
Yeah, that one really hurt too.
That was the one saving grace. At least I came back and I was like, "Oh, I'm only 20 pounds heavier." I'm like, oops.
But we're getting free money from the government, baby. Let's go.
How your experience was living downtown Vancouver? Because that's was it hard to find housing there, and was it much more expensive than living in Victoria?
I'm lucky. My parents, we own an apartment downtown, so they were just like, "Yeah, you just live in it." So it was cost free on the house. And a couple things about Vancouver, which are great and bad, is that I lived a block off of Granville. So anytime I would catch wind, on a Friday or Saturday, anytime I catch wind of a group of people going from White Rock, taking a party bus down to somewhere, I'd be like, can I just jump on the guest list with you guys and go in? And then
easy.
I remember it was May long. So a year ago around this time, in the weekend, I won't say what I spent, but I spent a ton of money because I went out the Friday, the Saturday, and then the Sunday. I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, if I'm gonna live down here, I gotta be more responsible. But it was a fun summer, and it was really cool getting to soak up the downtown atmosphere and all that. So I love it.
Yeah, I've always thought it would be cool to live right downtown. It'd just be a different atmosphere than kind of out in suburbia of Victoria and White Rock even, because as some people may or may not know, me and you are both from White Rock, small little town right by the border. Funny enough, we didn't actually know each other until we came to university.
No, and then I remember we met the first day of university in line for your res keys and that.
Yeah.
Like, you're from White Rock? I'm from White Rock. And like, what high school did you go? Well, you're older than me and went to SEMI as well. And then I went to Earl Marriott, so.
Yeah, there's about there's technically 4 like high schools in White Rock if you count count Southridge, but we were from opposite sides, a little bit of rivalry going on there. But I was decent friends with our buddies Matt Caveza and Joren Kuiper and
Kuiper, bro.
Kuiper,
I think.
I don't care. You think?
I only lived with the guy.
Only lived with the guy, but those are some of my buddies who were your age, and so you've known them. You probably knew them a lot better than me, honestly.
I didn't know Joren going into the first year, but I knew Matt because I played hockey with him. So
yeah, but we had some great times in first year as well.
Oh my god, what a mess that was!
Don't even get me started.
Oh god.
Caitlin, were you also in res when you were in first year?
Yeah, I was in cluster though. So all these things that you would talk about in dorms, I just did not.
You didn't?
I had a different experience. I had a hole in my wall, got written up once, and didn't see the light of day after that.
I got written up so many times. I had to write a letter to like, what are they called? The CL? No, CL?
CLs.
Yeah. I had to write like a 500-word letter to them for apologizing. I gave fake names all the time. Like, I'm just visiting. And then I got like, be like, are you visiting again? I'm like, no. And then, well, I got written up.
Well, yep. Yeah, very good time. We also had a wonderful time when you came and visited me in Copenhagen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when our alter egos came out.
Oh my
alter
gosh.
egos.
Introduce me to your alter egos. Let's hear it.
What was mine? Boston?
Yeah, it was Boston. Yeah.
And then we were just saying, like, we were talking shit to each other, like when we were shit-faced. It was, and then, and like we were at Dawn's, and then like I had sauce all over my face, and we were like wiping it off like a father would. Once again, not some of my finest moments, but I mean, a story I can tell.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's ridiculous.
My classic alter ego has been dubbed Grayson.
Yeah, Grayson.
And so Grayson and Boston were out there wreaking havoc in the streets of Copenhagen. Absolutely lost trust in each other as well.
Oh, completely. That was like the first night, I think, too.
Yeah, did not remember who each other were.
Well, I remember another thing about that trip to Copenhagen was Graham was infatuated on the fact that we had to go see these giant wooden statues, and he's like, oh yeah, it's like a 2-hour bike ride, like we could just like, it won't take too much time. And then we rode like 35 kilometers on these shite bikes, and then we'd only seen like 3 out of the 7 statues, and Graham's like, and we're like 4 hours in at this point, so tired, so far away from everything. Graham's like, should we just call it? And I was like, yeah, we should have called it like 2 hours ago.
Dude, I thought we could do it.
It was, yeah, that was, I remember my ass hurt for like 2 days after that because those seats were so bad.
Probably the most exercise I got on all of Exchange, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, that was, tour guide Graham was not on point that time.
Anything that you're excited for in the near future that you've been looking into?
Just like working on my golf game, and like I just want to hug the homies. I wish I'd hug them a little tighter before this has all gone down.
I wish I knew that the last time was the last time.
Yeah, seriously, like it just kind of like happened so quick, and like I know everyone like misses everybody, and this is like a shitty way to kind of end your university degree. But the way I see it, like we had like 3.5, almost 4 like really, really good years at UVic. So I mean, if this is how it's going to end, this is how it's going to end. I think we'll all be fine out of this, and I'm not too worried about it.
To touch on that, on what you were kind of saying there, Cope, it is a different way that we're ending our degree here, but it's also we've had some amazing times, and like the core year was, I think, a really big time for a lot of us. A lot of changes and a lot of new friends that will hopefully stay friends for a long time. And I think we can still make the most of this summer and hopefully keep everybody connected, even though it's digitally instead of in person.
Yeah, and I think this is like initiatives like this, like the podcast or talk show or whatever you guys want to call it, and then
figure it out.
Continuation of the Commerce Cup, and trying to get some normalcy out of all this. I think that's really good for like like everyone's well-being, and I think it'll keep people like their morale high and have something to like look forward to and work on. So
Yeah.
it's good work, guys. I'm really real proud of you two youngsters.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think all this has made me do is look back on those memories and everything that's happened and all the people I met and the friends, and I just like have so much more appreciation. I think it really has shown me that when this is all over, I'm actually going to be texting you, Austin Cope, and we're going to meet up for a drink, like for real. I know you're on a cleanse, but I don't believe it.
I am, but I'll break that for special occasions. So.
Oh, look at that.
Aww.
That goes for you too, Guam.
Oh, I hope so. Wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
Thanks, Austin. You're such a cutie. Loved all those stories. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, Caitlin. And now we have our professional meteorologist here to tell us a little bit more about the weather outside.
The weather looks pretty good.
Thank you for the weather. So now we're back with Joren, Austin, and Caitlin, and we are going to play some games. So think back to the first day of core year. We had Link Week. I believe it was Kate Donovan. She told us all about the amazing BCom program, and she really honed in on the fact, not that you're going to have a degree at the end of this, but you're going to get married to someone in BCom. And
Right.
my favorite couple is you two. Like, we have other great BCom couples, but really, like, let's be real. You guys are couple goals, but let's see how well you two know each other. So we're going to play the Newlywed Game. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and you're going to write down the answer of what your partner would answer. So an example would be like, what was your, should I say hubby? What was your partner's favorite first job? And then you write it down and you try and guess to see if that was. And Caitlin will do the countdown for you to reveal the answer. So I hope there's no breakups at the end of this.
We don't want to cause a divorce here. You know, it's quarantine season. People are breaking up left, right, and center. This is a pairing that we just can't see that happen to. Please.
Yeah.
Roger that.
We'll start off with hopefully an easy one. What is your hubby's shoe size?
Depends on the shoe.
Oh.
Like, are we talking a Van or like a Timberland?
I think just in general.
Yeah, like what's on average? What's the shoe size?
I might have this wrong. I don't know.
Okay, Caitlin, countdown.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Are we right? Austin, are you a size 11?
Yep.
Joren, are you size 10?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Wow. Okay, off to a great start.
First time's a charm.
First time. Okay. Now this one, we're getting a little bit more personal.
Okay.
So, what is your hubby's worst habit?
Well.
Look at those smirks.
They are excited. We're here to cause some conflict today.
Wait, so I'm saying what Cope's worst habit is? Okay.
Mhm.
Oh.
Or
That's
yours.
several.
Yeah.
Taking home threes. No, I'm kidding.
What?
I just realized, Caitlin, am I doing this right?
Yeah,
Are they
you're doing
supposed-
it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like we're supposed to guess about each other, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so Austin said being a butt plug, and Joren said leaving smelly socks on the couch.
I do that. And by being a butt plug, I mean like Joren can be, he'll just like stay in his room, do homework, and then like Matt and I will be trying to do like some BCom homework and be like, oh yeah, I finished that already. And we'll be like, yeah, thanks for the fucking help, man.
Joren, do you think that's your worst habit?
Maybe wearing too much
I
gym shirt.
also like eating tuna, so that could be pretty.
But I like that too.
Weird
So
Ew, like peanut
is-
butter tuna?
No.
Peanut butter tuna.
Yeah, you can get
Peanut butter.
canned peanut butter tuna. It's a thing.
No, just regular tuna. I'm not weird.
I think because you're eating tuna. I don't know.
Tuna them out for lunch is great.
That probably is my worst habit, though. the smelly
That's
sauce.
stinky. That would make you the least favorite on The Office. In The Office. Who was your hubby's celebrity crush growing up?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I'm thinking like
God.
middle school. Like puberty's hitting. You figured out what your penis is.
What's
I still don't know what that is.
It'll get bigger.
I'm guessing because I actually don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know for this one either.
Think about like your past loves. Your do they got big butts? Is it a boobs man?
Okay, actually, I think I got yours. I got
Yeah.
yours.
Okay. Caitlin, while they're answering, who was your celebrity crush as a kid?
Oh, Zac Efron all the way. All
yeah.
the way. I
Oh,
love.
yours was Big Bird.
What about you,
We're
Maddie?
down to one, a
I was
serious
a
one and a
big
funny
Hunger
one.
Games fan, so Josh Hutcherson, which is really
Oh.
sad. Yeah, it's
Okay.
looking back, bad choice, but whatever.
Cope, you know this one.
I don't know if I do.
We'll find
Okay.
out.
3, 2, 1. Jennifer Aniston, Ratatouille is what Austin wrote down, and then Joren wrote Pam from The Office.
I don't
Actually,
know.
that's
if
pretty good.
accurate.
Yeah, that was probably like in like grade 8 and 9. I had a huge crush on her.
Yeah. Well,
Really?
I watched Friends like 2 times, and it was partly because Jennifer Aniston was in there.
So it's not Ratatouille.
It's not
No.
Ratatouille.
God no. Although that is a really fun Wii game.
All right, there we go. Honestly, there's something about Pixar where they really make the women very thick. Have you noticed that?
They
Elastigirl?
really do.
Very busty.
She's packing heat. Anyways.
Elastigirl's a MILF.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started. That's my
Don't
celebrity
at me.
crush.
Yeah.
What is your husband's favorite sex position?
Oh man.
And if you don't know the name for it, you could also draw it. You get bonus points.
Cope, that's not a position, that's an act. I know what you're thinking.
That actually was what I was thinking, but I'm not gonna write that.
All right, I got mine.
Okay.
I think.
Wow, this is the most awesome.
I've got 2 again.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Missionary is what Joren wrote, and Austin wrote duct tape to the ceiling, dog style.
So how does that work if you're duct taped to
Can
the
you
ceiling?
please give us a bit more of an illustration to that?
Like, are the hands and the knees on the ceiling?
I think
The people might need a bit of context for the duct tape on the ceiling.
I don't know. We just had a running joke that Joren enjoyed being like duct taped to the ceiling or wall and just getting abused during the act. I can't remember how that spawned. I think you were like going to like a girlfriend's house or something, and you brought duct tape with you, and then that was just it.
Doesn't
Joren,
take
any
much.
comment?
No, I'd say that's pretty fair.
Pretty accurate. Now, is this Gorilla Tape? Is this duct tape? Is there a certain brand you like? You want to give a shout out to?
I'm not a brand guy. I kind of just take whatever I got.
All right, that makes sense. Okay. Okay.
Can we flip the question on you ladies?
No.
I don't have any paper. I'm in my bathroom, so sorry.
Okay. First
Be in
one.
for a bit of a ride.
Hey, it's you, Joren.
Shall
Caitlin, you might have to move. My crotch is taking center photo.
Yeah.
Tell me, comment on this. Maddie, how did you and Joren meet? Like, what's the friendship? Because I just remember you and Ayla like running around behind him and like helping, just being around him all the time.
So
Well, 'cause-
Ayla and I, this is all the way back into first semester. Joren and I sat next to each other in 2 of our classes. And I remember sitting next to him and I looked over and I was like, okay, handsome man. And the first thing he says to me, he's like, are you going like the full moon party at upstairs? That was the first thing he ever said to me.
That's a lie.
No, that's what he said. And I was like, no. And you were like, oh.
That sounds
okay.
like joy.
And then I was like, shit, like this guy will never talk to me again. And then he was a sweetie. And so Ayla and I sat in between, like he sat in between us because they like to do like boy, girl. And we just became like lesbian mothers to this man.
It was a wholesome sandwich.
We bugged him a lot. He would put up with it. He would laugh at our jokes sometimes. There were a lot of wholesome moments with Joren in first semester. I remember once you were writing a Christmas wish list to your mom. You were really excited because she was going to knit you socks. And that
She knit me some banging socks.
yeah, and that's really where we were like, we love a mama's boy, easy on the eyes, and would never have given us the time of day if he didn't sit next to us. So we were just like, we were humbled, we were excited, we were in love. And then Claire just came along for the ride as well.
You want to comment on that?
I feel like I'm on a pedestal right now. And Cope's got something to say to knock me off.
No, I'm not. I'm staying out. I'm just waiting for more photos because there's.
Can you comment on this photo?
Oh.
Oh wait, where's the monkey? Hold on. I'm trying my best. I don't know how to make this work.
That was from last year, wasn't it?
Why'd
Yeah.
you crop my pecs out?
You can kind of see the nips right at the bottom.
My Jesus piece.
Yeah.
The thing's
Ooh, hey.
dope.
So yeah, this is from when you used to model, is that correct?
That was like in 2018.
Yeah. So any more context? Like, so are you still signed with this agency? Are you still working out as much? Because you look really good here.
So this was on a family vacation at one of those all-inclusive resorts in Mexico. And my mom, dad, and I were walking back to our room from the beach. And you know how they got those photographers that'll like, they'll put a monkey or an iguana on your shoulder, or like a parrot on your head, and then they can take a photo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, this is a great opportunity for a new Facebook profile picture. So I got some pesos.
Still
I got some.
hey?
Oh yeah, I left it up on purpose. I went through like all my Facebook photos and deleted like the whack ones, but I purposely left that one because I think it shows some good range. So I asked my mom for some pesos, and lo and behold, a masterpiece was born.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. I think, yeah,
Okay.
I'll just keep it.
This, I have a
Here's
picture
Liz.
that I think you guys have a
Tui.
story for this one.
Well, Joren, you can tell the story about Tuius.
Like how the name Tuius came to be.
Yeah.
Didn't I talk about that in our podcast? Though?
It's gonna get cut. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Cope, you tell it better. It's
Okay, well, you
a
just
long
fill in
story.
anything I've missed. So,
Yeah.
we all know Matt Caveza, the little guy, nice guy, what have you. And we saw, I think one of our roommates, Tyler, saw a meme that read, if Matt equals Matthew, then Rat equals Rathu. So then we proceeded to call Matt Rat, Rathu. And then, so that progressed. Then he bought this all black car, which was like lowered. It's a Mazda 3 lowered. It's like black. And then so we started calling that the Ratmobile. And then we have a Wii at our house, like at our house in Victoria, and because we play like Rock Band or like Wii Golf or whatever on it. And then Joren's like, I don't have a Wii, but I've got the game Ratatouille for the Wii I can bring over. And then we were all just like, why the fuck do you have that game? And then so he brought it over and played it like a little bit and whatever. And then so instead of calling him Rathy or Rat, we started calling him Ratatouille. But then that was too long. So then we proceeded to call him Tui. And that he responds to it. If you say Tui sit, Tui beg, Tui stand up, that tends to work really well. So that's how we got the name for him.
think it's shut down at like 10 sometimes.
Oh, this is my favorite.
I knew this was going to
photo of all
happen.
time.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So this is in the summer after second year. It's August long, right?
Yeah.
And I was, so the six of us in our house, Matt, Joren, myself, Tyler, Patrick, and Jared, we went on a camping trip to where?
Jones Lake.
Jones Lake, okay. So they went up on a Friday, and then I had to work Saturday morning, so I couldn't come until Saturday afternoon. So I'm like driving up to Chilliwack. I'm in Chilliwack. I pull into a parking lot to like get McDonald's or something. Somebody hits my car. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like they damaged the license plate and like they damaged it. And I was like, don't care. I need to go camping. I need to get drinking. So then they're like, it's like a drive of a logging road to get to like this Jones Lake area.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling up in like my 2005 champagne gold Toyota Corolla, bottom out immediately when I get there. And then like everyone's laughing and howling at me, and I'm like, okay, great. Everyone's like wasted already. I think Joren wasn't, because he had to drive and get to me. But we get up there. I've got like a 260 Crown Royal.
Let me cut in. This is how gung-ho Cope was to drink. He jumps in the back of the truck, doesn't even close his car doors, and he's like, let's go. I'm like, dude, you haven't even shut your door. He's like, oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, that happened too. I was just so fired up. Anyways, we get up there. I'm like demoing alcohol. That's like, I like completely blacked out. Then I was like, I don't even remember that photo being taken. I just remember like I was eating spaghetti. Then I fell in my chair probably like 6 times because I was so deuced. And then did Matt forget to bring like a tent or something? So we had to sleep under a canopy.
Matt to this day will say that it's not his fault that he forgot the tent poles, but whoever's fault it was, we didn't have tent poles. So our sleeping arrangements was on a tarp on the beach, exposed, and we're like right by the water. So Cope is just belligerently hammered. Like, I thought this guy was gonna die. So we're sleeping beside each other, and I say sleeping, but Cope wasn't sleeping because he was dry heaving literally the entire night.
Yep.
Like, I thought I was gonna have to take him to a hospital.
Yeah.
And so just a terrible night. We wake up in the morning, and he finally gets some shut eye, but he's managed to like roll his sleeping bag in damp sand. So this guy is just covered in sand in a wet sleeping bag, hung his tits.
And I think like when I was like sick in the middle of the night, like Joren's like, yeah, he's sleeping beside me, and then I was like, I like mumbled, I'm like, I think I'm gonna die, and then Joren's just like, no, you're not. Shut up.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me about the best boys weekend ever.
Go ahead, Joren.
Walk me through every minute of it, because I have FOMO. I have serious FOMO on this one.
K-Town was a weekend full of spike, drinks, patio drinks, strippers even. I don't even know. That was probably one of the best weekends of my life.
Like, it was just so fun.
I just remember we stopped in at a Donnie's on the way up. And we always bug Cope about his weight. So he was getting a drink. I think you're getting a coffee.
Yeah, it was coffee.
I was watching you make this, or like we were watching you make your coffee or order your coffee, and you added like a sugar, and we go, Cope, what are you, crazy? And he's like, oh, I'm on vacation.
Okay. I think that's it.
We learned a lot today about love, about drunken times, and about friendship. And I think that's what really matters.
All I learned is that Austin Cope is a liability.
That's true.
Yeah.
Preach. What a good liability to have around.
Yeah.
Everybody needs one liability.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for coming back on and being patient, and doing it twice.
That was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Can I take a second to endorse President Trump for his 2020 campaign run?
And oh,
Ain't
cute.
nothing to it but to
But
do
to
it.
do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's our house.
It's our trap.
Yeah, we just
Put your sounds off.
Get off mute, you boomer.
What?
this photo. I called it Joren at prom, and then in brackets I put tacky.
Aki?
Tacky.
I really should prepare more for these.
Are you kidding me?
We gave you guys so much
I
time.
know.
Okay.
Jade, it's 10 a.m.